Hello friends, good afternoon. How are you? Welcome you all to this new episode of the Humanities. And in this video we are going to talk about another act, which is the Government of India Act 1935. You are all aware that we are actually running a series of constitutional developments in which we have covered the acts of 1773, 1784, 1835, 1850, 1833, 1853, 1858, 1861, 1893, and 1909, and 1919. Now we are on the 1935 Act, which is one of the most important acts passed during the British rule over India. So without wasting any time, let's start today's topic. So the Government of India Act 1935, it was actually a major act passed by the British government, and it also acted as a base for the Indian Constitution. When it was passed, it was a very lengthy document which had 321 sections and 10 schedules in it. Okay, and it provided a federation. Before talking about the different provisions of the act, one thing that you should know about this act, that the changes that it brought into the central government, they couldn't be passed because the princely states, they didn't agreed on those provisions. So only the provisions related to the provinces could be passed, but the provisions related to the central government or the central administration couldn't be implemented. So we will talk about them. We will read about them as well, and they will also be asked in the examination, but be clear that they were not implemented. So this act of 1935, it provided a federation, actually federation of princely states and the provinces. So a federation in which the princely states and the British provinces or the British areas were actually the units. So it provided for that federation, and it divided the powers on which the laws could be made in central and units. And it divided the whole subject, all those subjects, into three lists, and those lists were called federal, provincial, and concurrent. So the federal list had 59 subjects or 59 articles in that. Provincial list has 54 and concurrent has 36. Okay, residual things, all those topics which were not covered in these three lists, or on the lawmaking power of on all those subjects, were given to the viceroy. Okay, and it could not be really implemented as the princely states did not join it. So that was the first thing about this act. Then this act also ended diarchy, and the governors were now required to act according to the advisory of the ministers who were responsible for the provincial legislatures. In last video, when we were talking about the Government of India Act 1919, we talked about the Simon Commission and its recommendations. The recommendations of the Simon Commission were actually to set up a federation and end the diarchy. So according to those recommendations, this diarchy was ended. The diarchy was actually was actually the name given to the system when the provincial subjects were divided into two parts: transferred and reserved. We have studied that in 1919 Act. We have made a video on that act especially, and I will be sharing the link to the video in the description box below. You can watch that video as well. So that diarchy was abolished with this act, and after this, in the provinces, the governor was made responsible to act according to the advice of the ministers, and the ministers were made responsible to the legislatures. Now this system, this end of diarchy and this governor to be to act according to the aid and advice of the ministers was this system came into effect in 1937 and was abolished in 1939. So it was only for 2 years. It was not for a long time. Only for 2 years this system remained over there. Okay. Then after, this act also provided for diarchy in center. So it abolished diarchy in the provinces, in the units, and it introduced the diarchy in the central legislature. But again, we have discussed that all those provisions which were related to the central government, they couldn't be implemented. And then after, it also provided for the bicameral legislature in 6 provinces. When the British government started its rule over India, there were mainly 3 provinces over there. The BBM, that we call Bombay, Bengal, and Madras. By the year 1935, there were total 11 provinces. And of these 11 provinces, in 6 provinces, bicameral legislature was provided through this act. And those 6 provinces were first 3, Bombay, Bengal, Madras, and then Bihar, Assam, and UP. So in these 6 provinces, bicameral legislature was introduced through 1935 Act. Then after, separate electorate was also introduced. Separate electorate, a system which was introduced in 1909 Act and further strengthened by 1919 Act. It was taken further with this 1935 Act, and it was provided even to the depressed classes, women, and laborers. Besides this 1935 Act abolished the Council of India, the India Council, which was in London, the 15-member body to aid and advise Secretary of State. That was abolished, and a team of advisors were set up over there in London to advise the Secretary of State there. Besides this act also enhanced or extended the franchise rights or the voting right, and now about 10% population of India got the voting right with this new definition. Then after, the Act of 1935 also provided to establish a Reserve Bank of India, and it established a Federal Public Service Commission, a Provincial Public Service Commission, and Joint Public Service Commission. The Joint Public Service Commission, Provincial, that is State Public Service Commission, Federal, that is Union Public Service Commission, they all were established by the Act of 1935. Then it also provided to set up a federal court, and it was finally set up in 1937, and this federal court was different from the Supreme Court in Kolkata that was established in 1774. It is not that, it is a different one which was set up in the year 1937. So that was all about this Government of India Act 1935. All those provisions that we have made, all those points that we have studied in this video, they are very useful points for the examination point of view. So do revise them many times, and in your preparation, I believe they will be helpful for you in both states and the Union Civil Services examination. Besides this, we are also running to two Telegram channels. One is for the UPPSC 2020, and one is for the Civil Services UPSC 2020. UPPSC is going to be held on 11th of October and UPSC on 4th of October. So the name of this UPPSC channel is UPPSC 2020, and the name of UPSC is here. Either you can search with these names on Telegram, or you can click on this link to join our Telegram channel. Okay, so if you are preparing for the civil services examination, don't forget to click to the links here to join our Telegram channel, where we will be sharing different MCQs related to the pre-examination right now, and once the pre will be over, we will be sharing different mains oriented questions and evaluating the answers there as well. So do come to our Telegram channel, join this Telegram channel for the better preparation. Then after, I believe you like the video. If you love the topics covered, and if you think it is somehow beneficial to you, useful for you, do not forget to like and share our video, and do click on this link to subscribe to our channels. Okay, we are waiting for your subscription. This is the link. You can click on this button to subscribe to our channel, and we are sharing different videos related to the Indian polity, history, and all other topics on the subjects which are being asked in the civil services examination. So different other things, and this channel is going to be very helpful for you in your whole preparation journey. So, and if you are not preparing for the civil service examination, then also if you want to know about India, this channel is helpful for you. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and see you in our next video. Till then, enjoy your studies, have a safe stay at home because of this COVID-19 problem going on, and keep preparing for your civil services examination. Best luck for your next endeavors. See you soon.